Today's Spotlight is brought to you in part by presenting sponsor, Busey Bank. Busey, your dream, our promise. Welcome back to Spotlight. I'm your host, Jane Wernette. I'm joined now by Mike Litow of the Education Center and Ray McGurry of the Naperville Park District. So welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Always good to have you.
Absolutely.
And Mike, you are celebrating a big anniversary with the Education Center, 40 golden years, or in this case, 40 ruby years, right, for the anniversary. There's a need in the community. Talk a little bit about the need that you see and the work that you do.
Well, there's definitely a need, and there's always been a need, and sometimes those needs change. But we're talking about kids who struggle with school, struggle with parents, struggle with peers, have a lot of anxiety, a lot of some depression. And so we provide an opportunity for them to come in, and we talk to them and listen to them and take them seriously and try to provide an opportunity for them to get things off their chest and show them a way how to be successful, not only in school but in life.
Yeah, all about looking through that front window, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's terrific. Now, Ray, you've been involved for many years with the Education Center in
Correct.
a variety of different capacities.
Right.
So you, from an outside perspective and in all the work that you do, as a former police person as well as with the Park District, you see a lot of what's going on in the community. How do you see the needs being addressed with the Education Center?
I would have to say that, over it'll be almost 40 years, that's a number that we're hitting on in public service. I've worked with a lot of impactful people. And I would say that Mike here and the Education Center is probably the most impactful that I've ever worked with in my 40 years, especially on the law enforcement side. Lots of people in the community oftentimes are lost when they have a child in distress. And oftentimes they go to Google to look for answers for their child. We were fortunate enough to have somebody like Mike, and I say we, the police department, to be able to reach out, make connections, send them to a resource that we were confident he would be able to, in a no-nonsense manner, I think he probably would talk about that himself, get to the root of the problem and have that person take some ownership for the issues that they're having. So, I mean, from a law enforcement standpoint, slam dunk, absolutely, he's the prince. Park District standpoint, we've had some interaction together my 11 years here at the Park District, and it has to do a lot with the same type of individuals that need a break. They need a break for employment. They want a job, and so oftentimes Mike and I will talk and we'll slate people into certain positions in the Park District, and it's worked out wonderfully, and we will continue to have that partnership.
Yeah, and I know, Mike, because we've talked over the years. I mean, accountability is such an important component of that, right? And talk to us a little bit more about that.
The whole philosophy, or our, I would say our mission statement, is helping kids succeed not only in school but in life. How do we do that? By giving them the skills, the self-confidence, and motivation to achieve that success, regardless of what has happened in their life. How to get through that, how to get past it, and be able to persevere, be persistent, determined. And accountability means, what have they done to make the situation better? Either they make changes or they make excuses. We help them make changes so they can go in, and they come in sometimes feeling in despair, and we try to change that despair to optimism and a sense of hope that they can be successful. And our goal is to instill in them faith in themselves that they can do whatever they want to do, but they got to work.
Yeah.
The success is not an accident. It just doesn't happen, and so when things get tough, you don't throw up your hands, you roll up your sleeves, and you find a way and not an excuse.
Yeah, and I think that's so important, and you've talked a lot about that, but I also like something that you said right at the start, which is we take them seriously. And I think that's oftentimes something that, they're kids, they think they've got, we don't take them as seriously as maybe we can, and I think that's something you've always stressed.
Well, I always take kids seriously, and I listen to them. I'm not judgmental. I don't preach, lecture, sermonize. I don't talk down to them. But at the same time, I respect and expect that in return. Yeah. Don't dance me around the building. Don't try to tell me what I want to hear.
Yeah.
I'm here to do what I can to help you, but I don't have a magic wand.
Right.
You're going to have to do the heavy lifting. I don't give advice. I give information.
Well, talk a little bit about that, because you give a lot of tools and resources both to young people and also to parents. So talk a little bit about that.
Well, the tools we give them, if it's school related, it's how to study, time management, organization, special education needs, attention deficit. You know, how to become more organized, how to make the most of your time and prioritize and get things you need to get done, and set up a situation of monitoring to determine and evaluate if what you're doing is working, and if it's not, go back to the drawing board. Parents need some guidance and to empower themselves to take control of the situation at home. Many are frustrated. Many of them are dealing with children that have, I would say, an acute sense of entitlement. Mm-hmm. And this is struggles, and parents struggle, and they have an issue with consequences, how to be consistent, mm-hmm. how to follow through. So we provide all that, not only for if parents are part of the problem, they're part of the solution.
Right. Right, absolutely. Well, and another part, and I think this is interesting, Ray, because you've sort of worked a lot, as you already mentioned, in this sort of collaboration between families, between counselors, between the police department. So talk a little bit about that. As far as collaboration with Mike and the Education Center, well, Mike is part of the collaborative youth team here in Naperville, and that's just a whole myriad of different agencies, from religious to the school districts to the police department, fire department. There's so many different ones, and Mike being part of that is kind of the conduit for us. It's kind of like a wraparound service. Yeah. So at the end of the day, you need somebody to kind of take charge, like Mike was talking about, taking charge, taking accountability, and this is the guy that does it. This is the guy at those meetings who will oftentimes speak up and say, if I'm hearing this correctly, we should probably do something like this, this A, B, and C. So he has touched so many lives, and of course I'm biased. I love this guy, and I love what he does for a living. And I've often said to people, my life has often been, when I was a police officer, based on facts and evidence. Right. He produces facts and evidence. I've seen it because I've sent people to him. I've told other people about the Education Center, and they've called me and said, he has been a blessing to us, and thank you so much for making a recommendation. So I'm proud to be sitting next to this guy. Again, there's some difficult things that are going on in our community. We all know that, right. But you need more people like Mike in the Education Center. So, I can't say enough about the things that he's done for the community. Yeah, that's wonderful. Well, and certainly, everybody trying to collaborate together and right. make sure we're all the adults are on the same page. Correct. Right? Right. Let's move to something, because as we go, the Kids Best Friend event. It's something that you've done annually. It's a wonderful opportunity. I think the way that you honor people within the community, kind of lift them up, they reflect a lot of the values that you do. Mike, where's the event this year? Tell us who you might be honoring. Give us a little bit of information. Well, the event will be October 12th at the, it used to be the Hilton, now it's the Doubletree of Hilton. On October 12th, we have a reception, then followed by dinner and awards. And it's our major fundraiser, and the money is used and is allocated to work with kids and families who struggle financially. We don't turn anybody away from money. Also, we use it as an opportunity to acknowledge and people in the community who do great things for children. This year, our Kids Best Friend Award is going to a gentleman named Michael Victory. A lot of people in this community may not be aware of him, but we want to make sure that they learn about Michael Victory. He's been involved in student programs and a valuable resource, and we wanted to acknowledge him for all the great work that he does. Our Make a Difference Award is going to be presented to Nikki Anderson, who is CEO and president of the Chamber of Commerce, who does a number of different wonderful things over the years to make this community a great community. So we're hoping people will come out. It's our 40th year. We want to celebrate. We want to do it up big. So we're looking forward to it. And this will just be the start of 40 more. 40 more. I love it. More. I love it. Well, thank you so much for stopping by. We so appreciate it. And if you would like to find out more about the Education Center, or you want to purchase tickets to their Kids Best Friend benefit, please go and visit their website. We're going to take a quick break, but stay tuned. We're coming right back with more Spotlight.